Have you ever heard of a mystery so profound, so earth-shattering, that it continues to baffle scientists over a century later? Today, we journey to the remote, desolate heart of Siberia, to a place called Tunguska, where on the morning of June 30th, 1908, the sky tore itself apart. Imagine this. You're a local Evenki reindeer herder. It's a quiet morning. Suddenly, the sky splits in two. A colossal pillar of blue light, brighter than the sun, streaks across the heavens. A deafening roar follows, a wave of heat so intense it feels like your clothes are on fire. Then, an earth-shaking explosion. This wasn't a dream. This was the reality for eyewitnesses of the Tunguska event. The blast was biblical in scale. It released energy estimated to be 1,000 times greater than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. It flattened over 2,000 square kilometers of taiga forest, an area larger than modern-day London, snapping an estimated 80 million trees like matchsticks. The seismic shock waves were registered by observatories across Europe and Asia. For several nights afterward, the skies over Asia and Europe glowed with an eerie luminescence, so bright that people in London could read newspapers outdoors at midnight. What could cause such widespread devastation? An earthquake? A volcanic eruption? The locals believed it was a visit from the thunder god, Agdi. But the strangest part of this entire story, the detail that turns a catastrophe into an enduring enigma, is what wasn't there. For years, the site was too remote and the political climate too turbulent for a proper investigation. It wasn't until 1927 that the first scientific expedition, led by Russian mineralogist Leonid Kulik, finally reached the epicenter. Kulik was obsessed with finding a meteorite. He expected to find a massive impact crater, a giant hole gouged out of the earth filled with extraterrestrial fragments. He spent years searching, leading multiple grueling expeditions into the swampy, mosquito-infested terrain. But he found nothing. No crater, no meteorite fragments of any significant size. The trees at the very center of the explosion were still standing, stripped of their branches and bark, like a forest of silent, skeletal telephone poles. The trees further out were all knocked down, but pointing away from this central point, creating a bizarre, butterfly-shaped pattern of destruction. It was as if a giant, invisible hammer had slammed down from the sky, but the hammer itself had vanished without a trace. So, if it wasn't a typical meteorite impact, what was it? This is where the theories start to get really interesting, ranging from the scientifically plausible to the wildly speculative. The leading scientific theory today is that the Tunguska event was caused by a meteoroid or a small comet, perhaps 50 to 100 meters in diameter, that entered Earth's atmosphere at a shallow angle. The immense pressure and heat caused it to completely disintegrate and explode in a massive air burst several kilometers above the ground. This would explain the massive shockwave and thermal radiation without creating an impact crater. The object itself would have vaporized, leaving only microscopic traces scattered over a vast area. Evidence supporting this theory includes the discovery of microscopic silicate and magnetite spheres in the soil, which contain high levels of nickel, an element common in asteroids. Ice core samples from Antarctica have also shown a layer of dust from 1908 containing particles consistent with an extraterrestrial impact event, linking the Tunguska explosion to a global atmospheric phenomenon. But the lack of a smoking gun has left the door wide open for other, more exotic explanations. One popular idea is that Earth was hit by a tiny black hole. A micro-black hole passing through our planet would release immense energy via Hawking radiation, creating an explosion but leaving no physical remnant. However, most physicists believe a black hole would have passed straight through the Earth, creating an exit wound on the other side of the planet, which wasn't observed. Another fascinating, though less supported, hypothesis involves antimatter. Could a piece of antimatter have collided with the regular matter of our atmosphere? The resulting annihilation would release pure energy on a scale consistent with the Tunguska blast. The problem: Astronomers have found no evidence of significant amounts of antimatter existing freely in our corner of the universe. It's a neat idea, but it lacks any supporting evidence. And then we venture into the realm of true science fiction. Some have proposed that the explosion was caused by a catastrophic failure of an alien spacecraft. This theory, popularized in the mid-20th century, suggests that an extraterrestrial vehicle either exploded or was intentionally detonated to avoid a direct impact with the surface. Proponents point to the unusual flight path and the lack of a natural object as evidence. While it makes for a great story, there is, of course, zero concrete proof to support this claim. It remains purely in the domain of speculation and UFO lore. Perhaps one of the more peculiar theories comes from a man who needs no introduction: Nikola Tesla. Some have speculated that the event was an accidental result of an experiment with his Wardenclyffe Tower, an attempt to transmit wireless energy across the globe. Could he have inadvertently unleashed a powerful electrical discharge that detonated in the Siberian sky? While Tesla was a genius far ahead of his time, the physics required to do this are beyond even what he was known to be capable of, and there's no record he was conducting such an experiment on that specific day. So, what are we left with? We have a colossal explosion, 80 million fallen trees, and a mystery that has captivated generations. The airburst of a comet or asteroid remains the most logical, scientifically supported explanation. It fits the evidence we have: the massive shock wave, the lack of a crater, and the trace elements found in the soil. But the Tunguska event serves as a powerful, humbling reminder. Our planet is constantly moving through a cosmic shooting gallery. Objects of this size are thought to hit Earth every few hundred years. Tunguska happened in one of the most sparsely populated regions on Earth. What if it had happened over a major city like Moscow, or Paris, or New York? The story would be one of unprecedented tragedy, not intriguing mystery. The study of Tunguska isn't just about solving an old puzzle, it's about understanding the threats we face and developing ways to protect ourselves. Programs that track near-Earth objects are our modern-day watchtowers, scanning the skies for potential dangers. The silent, ghostly forest of Tunguska stands as a monument to a day when the cosmos reached down and touched the Earth with incredible force. It's a story written in shattered wood and whispers on the Siberian wind, a cosmic, cold case that continues to challenge our understanding of the universe and our place within it. What do you think really happened on that fateful morning in 1908? A comet? A black hole? Something else entirely? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more enigmatic events from around the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a new investigation. Until next time, stay curious